Live from the Windy C Radio studio in the shops at Iverson. This is the Balancing Act Radio Show, hosted by AJ Throwback, only on WindyCRadio.com, the Windy C Radio app, Facebook Live and YouTube Live on the Windy C Radio pages, and of course, it's all powered by GoWin.media.
It's all, bro. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Ladies and gentlemen, kings and queens, and everybody in between. We back in the saddle, right here.
Book production.
Bars, the one and only Bars. Official hump day motivation for the DMV and beyond. You already know what it is. I am your man, as I am every single Wednesday. AJ Throwback. Had a little inclement weather last week. Kept us out of the studio, but we bike. You know what I'm saying? So appreciate everybody who is tuned in on WinDC Radio, on the Facebook Live, on the WinDC Radio app, and online. Definitely got to shout out people that's already peeked their heads in. I see you, Miss Razzle Dazzle. You know, salute Team Bars, you know, representing early. Appreciate you. Also, Tayo, I see you watching. Make sure y'all check out Talk with Tayo every Monday from 12 to 2 right here on WinDCRadio.com. Great show if you're interested in information about insurance, about like finances, so many different things. She talks about so many different things on her show, and she plays some great music, y'all. So make sure y'all check out Talk with Tayo every Monday, 12 to 2 right here on WinDCRadio.com. But yeah, we're back, and I'm glad to be back, and got a packed show for y'all. I'm not gonna do too much. Well, I'm not going to do as much talking today, because as you can hear, I am actually recovering from being a little under the weather, so I wasn't able to give you my normal oomph that I give you when it comes to the good morning. And we are back on mornings, 11 to 1. You know what I'm saying? It was only for 4 weeks that we were doing 12 to 2, but now we are back 11 to 1. Great to be back. Definitely want to make sure we send a huge shout out to our producer of the week, whose music you are hearing right now from right here in the DMV, and that is none other than New Jeruz, which is short for New Jerusalem, as in his home for eternity, not New Jersey. He is from Atlanta, Maryland, started rapping back in 1986, making beats between 1991 and 1992, started engineering around 2005, and started grinding crazy last year. Actually, I want to say he put out 3 albums last year, and one of his latest albums, Timing Is Everything, is available on all digital media platforms, and actually got a surprise later on for y'all. Speaking of Timing Is Everything. To connect with him on SoundCloud, visit soundcloud.com/66B-P-M-S. And to connect with him on social media, follow him on Facebook at 66BPMS, IG at New Jeruz, that's NEWJERUSE, and Twitter at the same, New Jeruz. So y'all be hearing his instrumentals throughout the segments of the show. You're going to hear it throughout the show. We don't have any guests this week, so just going to be hearing my voice. Yeah, you got to deal with it. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to New Jeruz of 66 Books Productions Music Studio. Anybody know about the Bible, you know why it's called 66 Books. But anyway, like I said, we got a packed show for y'all. I got a random Joey's alert, you know what I'm saying, based on a status I put up over the weekend. And also going to be talking, a little closing up Black History Month, talking very briefly about the Oscars later. And also The moment y'all been waiting for, all y'all artists out there. 5 Alarm Blaze Countdown for February. Gonna be seeing who's gonna make that top 5 and who's going to be the arsonist of the month. But without further ado, let's get into some music. This is Tragic featuring J Bomber and LB Smooth with Be Your King on the official Hump Day Motivation for the DMV and beyond. This is Bars.
Let me be your king. Get her everything she want and everything she needs. She's dreaming about the finer thing. Let me be your king. Take care of your fantasies, girl. I know that you're a fiend. Say you ain't about that life. Let me be your king. I gotta fly apart, but all I needed was a queen. You're sexing and finessing, babe. Can I be your king? Let's connect, respect. I know it never be the same. Promise I get you right, let me be you.
You wanna live your wildest dreams and then become my queen. I rearrange your 7 chakras, now your spirit clean. I dry all your tears and then I wash away your pain. Inside my lane, appreciate the most beautiful thing. I'm not a lane, I'm just grown man, I'm never playing games. I get your life full of luxury, all the finer things. What you know about diamond rings, not you know watch and chain. And everything you wear is silk or designer brand. The blue is water, sunny beaches in the foreign land. I spin in the band to see you dance just because I can. You could be everything I need, I never search again. She called me Usher and Little John, wanna be loving friends. Especially the conversation deep and never end. I kick the game, she never seen you with x-ray lens. She so inquired what's in my mind and then what's in my pants. And when I put on this song, she be like, that's my jam.
Get her everything she want and everything she needs. She's dreaming about the finer thing. Take care of your fantasies, girl. I know that you're a fiend. See you ain't about that life. I gotta fly apart, but all I needed was a queen. You're sexing and finessing, babe. Close connect, respect, I know it never be the same. Promise I get you right, let me be you.
Let me give you that royal treatment. You deserve to be spoiled. Wrap you up, aluminum foil. Get you home alone, no little white boy. I can't wait to see you finally. I've been trying to stay patient, but me laying in the cup by myself ain't cutting it. I need my queen. She make everything clear by zine. It's what I call her when I'm in the water. I forgot my towel. Matter of fact, I can use your body to wipe me down. Matter of fact, girl, come get your crown. I be way down at your feet. You make my life so complete. All I wanna be is your king.
Get her everything she want and everything she needs. Dreaming about the finer things. Take care of your fantasies, girl. I know that you're a fiend. Say you ain't about that life. I gotta fly apart, but all I needed was a queen. You're sexing and finessing, babe. I'll be your king. We're supposed to connect, respect. I know it never be the same. Promise I get you right. Let me be your.
Salute kings and queens, this your man Villadom, aka Mr. Briefcase, and y'all now rocking with my man AJ Throwback on Bars, the official Hump Day motivation for the DMV and beyond, only on WinDC Radio. Power.
Yeah. Just wanna be rich, just wanna be rich. Just wanna be rich, just wanna be rich. Pac season, all season on these motherfuckers. Just wanna be rich. Yeah. Just wanna be rich, just wanna be rich. Just wanna be rich, just wanna be rich. Get the bitch I want. Just wanna be rich, just wanna be rich. Get the crib I want. Just wanna be rich, just wanna be rich. Get the bitch I want. Get the whip I want. Get the crib I want. Just wanna be rich, just wanna be rich. Get the crib I want. Get the bitch I want. Get the whip I want. Just wanna be rich, just wanna be rich. Hit that corner in the foreign like I'm James Bond. Title registration with my name's on. This gon' make you beat your feet.
They be faking like.
This gon' make you beat your feet.
They be faking like.
If you live in check to check, got a girl talking out her neck. All she do is fucking flex, but y'all still be having sex. Middle fingers up, up. If you feeling like I'm feeling, I be yelling fuck Trump. Then I go and text my dealer, I be repping BLM. But I really be the problem. Yeah, my pusher for the dub, rule to get me through tomorrow. Them bitches through my sorrow. See the heart I got is borrowed. Say I don't know what I want. That's my favorite line. See the music touch her soul, watch it make her mine. Y'all putting sex over business, that don't make it right. Preheat the 420, now it's baking time. See, it's baking time? Yeah, it's baking time. Just wanna be rich, just wanna be rich.
Yeah.
Just wanna be rich, just wanna be rich.
Just wanna be.
Just wanna be rich, just wanna be rich.
Just wanna be.
Just wanna be rich, just wanna be rich. Get the bitch I want. Get the whip I want. Get the crib I want. Just wanna be rich, just wanna be rich. Just wanna be rich, just wanna be rich. Just wanna be rich, just wanna be rich. Get the whip I want. Just wanna be rich, I want. Get the crib I want. Just wanna be rich, just wanna be rich. Get the bitch I want. Just wanna be rich, just wanna be rich. Get the crib I want. Just wanna be rich, just wanna be raw paper bamboo for the KD. Lately I've been seeing life clear as HD. Just wanna be rich. Just wanna be rich, just wanna be rich. Just wanna be rich, just wanna be. Wake up with my bills paid, go and get a check. Type of lick to keep your bills paid, go and place your bets. I'm too busy for the too busy for your text. Mama say I'm looking tired in the face, go get some rest. But I can't sleep, all I see is M's in my nightmares. Like my biddy with a crop and some Nike Airs. Type that like they eat Chipotle, hold the rice, yeah. But my buzz on ice, yeah. Y'all do whatever to get up on the TV, poltergeist, yeah. Thule on my shooter, you would think that he was coolin', but I'm here to catch a bag and a flight, yeah. Just wanna be rich, just wanna be rich, just wanna be rich. 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 Get the bitch I want, get the whip I want, get the crib I want. Just wanna be rich, just wanna be rich. Get the bitch I want, just wanna be rich, just wanna be rich. Yeah. Get the bitch I want, get the whip I want, get the crib I want, and the crib for mom. Just wanna be rich, just wanna be rich. Just wanna be rich, just wanna be rich.
You hear this spot right here? This could be your spot where you pull your new customer. If you're a nascent or established business or entrepreneur and you believe you have the right product for our audience, then advertise with Bars. For more details on our rates, packages, and deals for first-time clients, email balancingactradioshow@gmail.com. That's balancingactradioshow@gmail.com.
Seasons changing, rearrange, the world keeps spinning. Some people come and then they go, so I'll just keep living. No, I don't care about what you think, don't care about what you say. 'Cause I'm gonna always do what I want anyway. I've never been the type to like being told what to do. You got so many opinions that only benefit you. Like you shouldn't have so many tattoos. You shouldn't wear your hair in that dude. You don't need to mess with that dude. I got what you need to get through. don't care about what you think, don't care about what you say. I just not gonna always do what I want anyway. Truth is, I'm not here to impress you. I don't know how else to express it, 'cause I got better things to do, better than waste my time on you. So you can talk about me all day. I know there's love behind all that hate, so I'll make sure my crown is on straight. Then I'll go cash this check and throw shade. Rearrange, the world keeps spinning. The world keeps spinning. Some people come and then they go, so I'll just keep living. I'll just keep living. No, I don't care about what you think, don't care about what you say. Don't care what you say. Just not gonna always do what I want anyway. I'll just keep living. No, I don't care about what you think, don't care about what you say. Don't care what you say. Just not gonna always do what I want anyway.
If you're an urban contemporary indie artist, then this is your platform. Send us clean versions of your music to balancingactradioshow@gmail.com. That's balancingactradioshow@gmail.com.
DJ Swift on the
Tell you that they want to see you win, but their main intention is to bury you. See, once you in that hearse, everybody try and carry you. But we ain't with that. We exterminating all rats. Oh, you riding? I hope all your flesh.
You can catch it too.
I'ma live like a king, cause rich is gangster.
Rich.
Wealth is royal.
Well.
But these streets is forever.
Heat Factory Studio.
I'm just trying to live like a king. Charge them 29 for a whole thing. Pull up on they block and let that chopper bang. Pull up on they block and let that chopper bang. I'm just trying to live like a king. Charge them 29 for a whole thing. Pull up on they block and let that chopper bang. Pull up on they block and let that chopper bang. I'm a certified 5 balls. Aim for who pop and knock his noggin off. Take these free shots like an open bar. Loud fill a room when we open jars. Break it down, back seal a whole zip. It costs to be the boss, you can't hold shit. I heard plot and let him hold 6. Treat him like a thought, we expose you. Man, all these ratting, all these tell him. Fucking up the code, DJ Rumpelstiltskin. When he spin his gold, birthday in December. So my heart is cold each and every winter. The day they took my dog, I always remember. You a dead man walking, Michael and Thriller. We gon' get it, cause we gotta get it. I just had a nephew, so this shit lit it. I just dropped the clothing line to up my city. Two king, boy, it's 2 king. When you see me coming, bet that Hussein. 100 round chopper, tie up the loose ends. I don't like talking about who, no. Cause them boys will leave a soul in the phantom ghost. Do right and kill everything, is free smoke. And got them ducking when we slow stroll. 225, what I charge for a whole O. For a half, now we talking 16. We divine power, that's by any means. Money on my mind, so all I think is green. Free my dogs, couple days they off for quarantine. Only real understand the G. We don't lay with cats, that's why you catching fleas. Call me Westbrook, triple doubles, all I need to see. I'm just trying to live like a king. Charge them 29 for a whole thing. Pull up on they block and let that chopper bang. Just pull up on they block and let that chopper bang. I'm just trying to live like a king. Charge them 29 for a whole thing. Pull up on they block and let that chopper bang. Just pull up on they block and let that Bang! Tell them that I got it, I got what you need. El Chapo motivation where I need to be. Tell them keep on skating till they let you breathe. Colombiana on the way, it come from overseas. So it's 25, that's for every key. Big dog in the paint, Shaq in 93. 8 to 24, I feel like Kobe B. Got me eating, I feel like Heavy D. Just grab some Steve Madden, they look like Louis V. And on them, dripping on them, make a hater mad. Dirty money, clean me all, that's how I take a bath. Sneakers lace, just in case I gotta chase a bag. A man is not old until his regrets take place in his dreams. We finessing on all you haters. Allah forgive them for what they do not know. Allah forgive them. Winning is defined by who in the lead. Trap the ball now and we up through. It's heavy on our side. North side. King.
Welcome back to the Balancing Act Radio Show, hosted by AJ Throwback, only on WinDCRadio.com and the WinDC Radio app, powered by GoWin.media.
Yeah, that was King Mars coming straight out of Philly with Dia King. Almost qualified for the 5 Alarm Blaze Countdown this week, but didn't quite make it. But shout out anyway, my man King Mars. He will be back. He was here in December. He will be back April 17th for another interview. So make sure y'all tune in to that show. Before that, we had brand new single from Katana Zane with I Don't Care. Before that, Go Hard Mike Lee with Wanna Be Rich. And starting off the set, Tragic featuring J Bomber with and LB Smooth with Be Your King. Definitely want to make sure I send a shout out to everybody who is tuned in on the live. Shout out my main man Calvin of Lush Vibes Radio. Make sure y'all follow him on Instagram. I think he's on Facebook and Twitter. So follow him across the board at Lush Vibes Radio. Dope show. Y'all hear me always plug him all the time. One of the strongest members of Team Bars. Salute to you, my brother. Also, Neen of Let's Be Clear. Neen and Becky. They're on every other Tuesday, 6 to 8 p.m. right here on WinDCRadio.com. The fellas, I believe, will be on next week. Mike's Corner. Mike, they got 2 mics now. Mr. Sean and Scope. You know what I'm saying? So make sure y'all check them out. Also, shout out my main man, Jay. We made the podcast, you know what I'm saying? Him and my man K, you know what I'm saying? Please make sure y'all check out their podcast. Hilarious podcast. But they talk about some real stuff on there, but they present it in a way that it's like if you shooting the breeze with your homies, can't even talk. Perfect podcast for you. Excuse me, y'all. And also, I got to make sure I shout out my missus, you know what I'm saying, my baby, my love, you know what I'm saying. I appreciate you every single week supporting me, baby. I love you. I appreciate you. My main man, Sly D, representing, you know what I'm saying. What's good, my brother? So I appreciate everybody who is tuned in, peek their heads in. All right, let's go ahead and get right into it.
Joey's Alerts, Joey's Alerts, Joey's Alerts, Joey's Alerts.
All right. So, yeah, haven't done one of these in a very long time. And, of course, this has got to be random. Y'all going to be hearing that a lot during this show, so excuse me, y'all. But anyway, so over the weekend, I was, some people have hankerings for food. Some people have hankerings for, alcohol. Hankerings for a lot of different things, a lot of guilty pleasures. Mine tends to be music. And so over the weekend, I was listening to, I just had an urge out of nowhere to listen to a certain artist. And so any of y'all who know your R&B, like really know your R&B, Sharon Bryant, she was one of the, I won't say she wasn't the first lead singer of Atlantic Starr, but she was the one who really helped to put them on the map when she was on songs like When Love Calls, Circles, Am I Dreaming, Touch a Four-Leaf Clover. Like a lot of what really helped to make them successful before she ended up leaving the group in 1984. And then Barbara Weathers came along and she ended up being the voice of like songs like Secret Lovers, Silver Shadow, was it all? I think she was on All in the Name of Love. If Your Heart Isn't in It, Always. Like she was more of like the pop Atlantic Star when they had more pop success, but Sharon Bryant was like more of the soul. So Sharon Bryant, she ended up doing some session work for a long time before she put out her solo album in 1989. And the song that I really wanted to hear at first was Let Go, which was actually her biggest solo hit. And a lot of people probably don't know that song unless you really, really know your R&B. But, you know, it was a big hit for her, but, you know, it's not really in the consciousness as much now. But what really sparked the whole random thought was the fact that she did a cover of Foolish Heart by Steve Perry. Those of you who don't know who Steve Perry, former lead singer of Journey. If you don't know who Journey is, all you need to know is Don't Stop Believing. If you don't know Don't Stop Believing, you need to crawl from underneath that rock you've been living in your whole life. Because, I mean, they play the song darn near everywhere. But anyway, so she remade Steve Perry's Foolish Heart. And so that's what sparked this whole conversation. And the question that I posed on Facebook, remakes you like better than the originals. So that's what really started that whole, it wasn't really a question, but just kind of throwing it out there, one of my end goals. And so, frankly, at first, I wasn't the biggest fan of Foolish Heart. Like, and I didn't even know it was a remake when I first heard it. But I'm not gonna say I disliked it, but it was one of those songs, I don't know, it kind of made me feel sad when I used to hear it as a kid. I'm like, this song makes me feel sad. I don't know if I like this. I don't know if I like feeling sad, because I really like Let Go, so I don't want to feel sad by this. But then, like, fast forward maybe 15 years later, and like right around the time I first got iTunes, I got this song. I just happened to see this song. I'm like, Foolish Heart, yeah, I remember this song. And so, like, I listened to the song, I'm like, hold on. I remember not really caring for this song, but now I like this song. Like, she really singing on this song. And so then, like, I bought it. And, yeah, and I really love the song now. But I didn't even know until, like, years and years later that it was a remake. And then when I heard Steve Perry's version, I was like, I like Steve Perry's version. I like his voice on this song. But Sharon Bryant just brings a little bit more soul. You know, like the music, her singing, I mean, like, you don't really have a whole lot of harmony with Steve Perry on that song, whereas, like, Sharon Bryant, her background vocal, she harmonizes with him, and, like, she just puts more pizzazz on it, puts some more zip on it. So that's what really got this conversation started. So continuing on, other remakes that had to grow on me that I did not know were remakes at first. So Will Downing, when he put out I Try, which a lot of people may know is an Angela Bofield remake. When I first heard I Try, I wasn't the biggest fan of it. Because that was the first time that I recall Will Downing entering my consciousness. And I was just like, remember myself saying, hey, who does Fake Me Out Luther Vandross? Like, get this out of here. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just wasn't really feeling that joint at first. But then, like, maybe 3 years later, and I think maybe in between that time, I heard Angela Bofield's version. And I was like, maybe I should give Will Downing's version a try again. And so then when I did, I was like, yeah, I like Will Downing's version better. Because if I'm being honest, like, I like Angela Bofield, but I don't love Angela Bofield. Like, she's got some songs I like. I like This Time I'll Be Sweeter. Tonight I Give In. But I Try, not one of my favorite Angela Bofield songs. Like, I don't dislike it, but I don't love it either. So, another one, Will Downing, I Try. I like it better than the original. The third in this little trio of songs that I like better than the remakes that I didn't really care for at first, Troop. And it's not the song that you think I'm going to mention, for those y'all R&B fans out there. Troop, 1993, they remade Sweet November. And at the time, one, I didn't know it was a remake. Two, I wasn't crazy about it, because they played it a lot. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, it's not really, you don't really hear it much anymore, but at the time they played it a lot. And I just remember myself thinking like, this is cool, but this isn't all I do is think of you. You know, like I think that was the caliber of slow song that I was used to from them, and I was spoiled by that. So when I didn't really get that, I was like, But then 2 years later, I heard the song on the radio, and I'm like, yo, why didn't I like this song? This song is great. But then fast forward, probably about 4 or 5 years after that, I buy the Deal's Greatest Hits album. Deal, those of you who don't know, that's the group LA and Babyface were in originally. Well, one of Babyface's original groups that he was in. He was in another group before that, but the main group that people knew him from was the Deal. So I buy the Greatest Hits, and there are a few songs on that album, well, actually 2 songs on that album that I did not know were remakes. So the first being Just My Luck, which was remade by Allison Williams. Another song I like the remake better than the original, although I like the Deal's version. But then I see Sweet November in the titles. I'm like, hold on, Sweet November, I know that title. And so I'm listening to the song, I'm like, hold on, this is the same song by Troop. And frankly, I like Troop's version better. Because let's keep it real, y'all. Babyface is not the strongest singer in the world. You know what I mean? So it's like, I think darn near anybody could take one of his songs and remake it better than him because they're better singers, you know, but that's neither here nor there. Steve Russell, I think that's the lead singer in Troop's name. Steve Russell is a far better singer than Babyface. And it was just a better song, you know, and it was a bigger hit for them. It was that was their last #1 R&B hit for Troop. So it did well, and then I just like the song better. So 2 more songs before I read a few of the comments that I got on the post. Hold on. Okay, Calvin, I see. Yeah. How about that? Calvin, interestingly enough, played Foolish Heart by Steve Perry last week. So, I mean, you know, Foolish Heart is in the consciousness of a few people right about now. But, so another song, which is one that everybody kind of knows is a lot of people know is a remake. And a song I always loved anyway. So, Marvin Gaye. I just grew up being a Marvin Gaye fan ever since I was a kid. But I heard it through the grapevine. A lot of you may know that is an actual remake. Gladys Knight and the Pips did the song first for their kind of one and done on Motown. Very short-lived run for them. But at the same time, I didn't know it was a remake when I was a kid because Marvin Gaye just owned the song. And it was a song actually that was used to promote like an oldie station here in DC when I was a kid, like on TV. So like I would always hear that song. I'm like, yo, I really like that song. I want to hear the whole song. Every time they play that little snippet of the song, I'm like, I want to hear the whole thing, you know. But I've always loved that song. So when I heard Gladys Knight and the Pips version, I was just like, nah, Marvin Gaye just, he kind of made it a little bit more gangster, maybe a little more melancholy. Like Gladys Knight and the Pips version was just too upbeat for me, whereas like Marvin Gaye really worked those lyrics, really worked that music. Like they did the music different form and everything. Like it's just a better version to me, far better. Like out of all the songs that I'm like mentioning in this little run, that's probably the only original that I just flat out I'm not a fan of. Like even though I'm not the biggest fan of Angela Bofield's, I'll listen to that, but I just won't listen to Gladys Knight and the Pips version of I Heard It Through the Grapevine. I'm not a fan. Not a fan. Never have been. And then the last song, yes, Marvin is the greatest. Shout out my man ADST Music watching on Facebook Live. Marvin is the greatest indeed. He could take anything and make it great. But the last song I'll mention in this run before I get to some of the comments, and this is going to kind of sort of tie into the next segment because I'm going to keep this segment going. Anita Baker. A lot of y'all, this is songs you may not have known was a remake. You Bring Me Joy, off of her Rapture album, 1986. It took me about 16, 17 years to find out that song was a remake. And the only reason I even knew was because I bought the Best of Norman Connor CD back in 2003. And, you know, I'm listening to the album, loving the album. Greatest hits album, by the way. And so then I see the title, but I'm not thinking anything about it. So I'm hearing the music to it. I'm like, hold on, this sounds familiar. Then the woman starts singing. I'm like, hold on, what is this crap? Because, you know, anybody who loves Anita Baker and loves that Rapture album, y'all know Anita Baker tore that song down. Tore it down. Tore it up, tore it down, owned it. The only person I've heard sing that song even close and maybe arguably better than Anita Baker is Yolanda Adams. That's it. Anybody else? No. Just don't do it. Don't embarrass yourself. So I hear this version, and I'm like, man, what is this? Like, she just didn't have the same pizzazz that Anita Baker did. I think the woman's name is Adaritha. It's Adaritha. That's her name. She's the vocalist on the song. And I mean, the music is more or less the same, but still, it's just like she didn't have that same oomph that Anita did. Anita just, man, she just owned that song. I love that song. That's like one of my favorite Anita Baker songs of all time. That song alone might be the reason why Anita Baker is in like my top 5 singers of all time, like legit. But let's get to some of these comments before we get back to some music. So let's see. So Country, my main man Country, he said, Superstar by Usher. I had the side album on this one. LOL. Hate me now, but I enjoyed the heck out of it. And I mean, and I was like, but hold on. That's a remake of a remake. So I mean, the Carpenters did it first. So you're really saying you like it better than the Carpenters version? Aha. I had to pivot out of that way because there's no way you could tell me any version of Superstar is better than Luther's. My cousin Darnell said, if you think you're lonely now, Bobby Womack remake, Casey and JoJo. And my main man Charles and Patricia also said the same thing. I agree. I like Bobby Womack's version a lot, but Casey is something that Casey did with that version. I mean, he just took it to another level. My man Noah Andrew mentioned, I think the artist name is Kishi Bashi's cover of Talking Heads is This Must Be the Place. And it really is. If y'all have a chance, the artist name is spelled Kishi Bashi. And look up This Must Be the Place. It really is a dope remake. And I have to go back and listen to the original again. But, I mean, just off what I heard, I can't really argue it. Neen, of course, let's be clear. She said, okay, so I love the originals of both, but I absolutely love the others as well. Ironically, it's father and daughter. What's Going On, Donny Hathaway, which is a dope cover. And Layla Hathaway, Angel. Layla Hathaway really did do a fire job with Angel. And it's hard for me to argue that because although I really love Anita Baker's version. I love Anita Baker's version. So that one might be a push for me. My man Nevin said Donnell Jones's remake of Stevie Wonder's I Don't Want to Bore You. Then he later said Knocks Me Off My Feet, which was also co-signed by my man B. Witty. To which Tia Fletcher, my homegirl Tia Fletcher responded, Tevin Campbell's version tops them all, not sorry. And I gotta say, both versions are really good versions. And I would say that I like both versions better than I like Stevie Wonder's version. And I love Stevie Wonder's version. But I don't know, maybe because I was coming up in the 90s, you know, I don't know, not every remake is better than the original, but still. And then my main man Fletch, he said Lately by Jodeci, originally by Stevie Wonder. I like Lately Jodeci's version, but the unplugged version, because if any of y'all remember, they came out with a video for it, and the video version was different than the one we were used to hearing on the radio, which was the unplugged version. The unplugged version, fire, straight fire. You know what I'm saying? Like, when I heard Stevie Wonder's version, I was just like, there's not enough on this. I love it musically, but vocally, I was just like, there's not enough on this. You know what I mean? Like, Stevie Wonder, he's one of those singers that a lot of people could remake his songs better than him vocally, because Stevie Wonder's a good singer, but he's not like, you're not saying like, oh, Stevie Wonder's singing down the house. You know, like Stevie Wonder's just an artist. He just creates, like he's a visionary, you know. But I do like Jodeci's lately better. Hold up, Barbara. Yes! Yes, yes, Jay, the California Raisins, mama. Yes, man, you took it back with that, dog. You took it back, man, dude. Man, you know that's what I was thinking about whenever I think about Marvin Gaye's version of I Heard Through the Grapevine, man. Good grief, man. You took it back with that, dog, man. You about to make me give out my voice even more, man, with that. Oh, man, that was classic. That was great. And I'll throw in one more user comment before we go to break. So my homegirl Erica Sutton, she had a run of great responses. So she said, Usher and Monica's remake of Lattimore's Let's Straighten It Out. Man, if y'all ain't heard Monica's first album and her remake of Let's Straighten It Out, treat yourself today. I'm gonna be honest, that's one of the biggest reasons why Monica's first album will always be her best album to me, because of that remake. Killed it. Aretha's remake of Otis Redding's Respect, which I always forget is a remake, but agreed. Kiki Wyatt's remake of Patti LaBelle's If Only You Knew, which she said she's also likes Soul For Real's version better than she likes Patty's version, because she's not a fan of Patty's version. Now I totally disagree with her on that, because Kiki Wyatt, as much as I love Kiki Wyatt's version, she couldn't hit that note at the end. She had to go falsetto on the vocals, and I was like, man, you cheated. That's all I can think. Like, you cheated. It's like, I love Kiki Wyatt's version. It's smooth, but Patty's version is just classic, man. All right, so we gonna pick this back up over the break. We gonna play some music, play a couple of promos, and then we'll be back to pick this up over the break. But for right now, hold fast. Yeah. All right, I had to cue my next song up, you know what I'm saying? I got so excited for that segment, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, this is my main man right here. We go way back, me and this dude right here, you know what I'm saying? This is my main man, Clutch the Rapper, with that DC Crank, brand new single, on the official Hump Day Motivation for the DMV and beyond. This is Bars.
DC or nothing. Aight. The American bounce for me. Just for the culture. Just for the culture. DC Crank, man. Yeah, this the city, boy. 3 stars, 2 bars, we super litty, boy. Hey, 202, what you gonna do? We make running numbers up. Tell that pretty model waitress ringing bottles up. When drama poppin', ain't no watching, I'ma follow up. In DC, we rock the go-go. Rest in peace to Polo. I got powers like I'm Austin Powers, trying to steal my mojo. Fresh 990, Saviato on some hobo. I'm a EMB, great with social. Rock my homies logo. Throw your hood up, screaming rest in peace to Chuck. Make the city beat your feet, screaming rest in peace to Slush. It's this diva in my city, say she from them VA beaches. Let me touch it, squeeze it, bang it, baby. I can keep a secret. Ay, this that dirty gal flow. Any, mini, mighty mo. Book a roll, burn a drone. Strike a but don't save a bro. Cut strength with total control. Just in case you missed it, tell them meet me at the bar. Yo, the bar. Let's get twisted. Yeah, boy. 3 stars, 2 bars. We super litty, boy. Hey, 202, what you gonna do? We make from my hood, you can't hang. On Humo ain't fake and kill, that goofy lame. From different sections, but I swear we all the same. Welcome to the pit, we roughing you out the way. Finesse a jug, get some money, I'm like, hey. He want mug, chopper, bless him where he lay. Can't get out the way, I'm on my grind 24/7. Make these bitch, they face. Welcome to the city where the women are the prettiest. Ratchet buck at home training, hit the dog, whip the grits. I stick to the G code, y'all be on some different ish. Never stick my brothers out regardless of our differences. Free and real, exterminate the rats. No Tommy Hilfiger, boss on the rack. I never squeal, I put my life on that until I catch the chills. The city's on my back. Yeah, 3 stars, 2 bars, we super litty, boy. Hey, 202, what you gonna do? We make You make yeah, Southside, hey, Uptown, hey, Northeast, hey, Southwest. We make
Want to get down with the Bars Revolution? We're on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Bars On Air.
Damn, I'm stuck in this past life. I hold my head to the sky cause I fear crying. I play with love at a bad time, and I confess you might find what I'm writing a bit opaque. It's nothing like knowing love in the midst of stress. Better than I ever felt when our lips would press. The rain would drip, the pain would drip. The shame that this might be the last time that we may kiss. I thought I claimed you when I claimed God. Me trying to find where the angels live. Thought if I held you tight, well then maybe then you wouldn't slip right out of my feeble grip at night. I hiss his name with spit so he could hear the disdain of my tainted lips. Through broken tones on the phone, I would call to respond to you. And my only one note, the connection's gone. Nothing was the dame to me. See, those nights I'd slide into God's room, would slide through those pews just to get up beside you. I lost faith in a higher power. I charted my way in a quest for our love. This is the path that I've chosen. I save a pack of my tokens and swing through a map on my phone screen. Walking through bad hoods, it's so me. Walk to the back where someone had opened the door. Like post through the thread of my armor, I'm hoping it's you. I wonder if you saw the things I was after. Your happiness, love, and compassion. Or is this you saying that none of that mattered? Maybe it's cause I was doing the most in the ways that we's cruising this boat ain't as smooth anymore. Maybe it's cause we had done this before and you think that I'm cool but it's drawn. I won't be cool for this story, but I'll tell the truth cause it hurts me. I'll tell the truth cause it's worth it. I'll tell the truth cause it's worth it.
Organizing any type of event to benefit the people in your neighborhood? Then submit it for the Bars Community Calendar. Send all important information, including point of contact, to balancingactradioshow@gmail.com. That's balancingactradioshow@gmail.com.
Hashtag 901 Hitmakers.
Majestic sounds. I'm coming now. Ready or not, here I come. I'm coming now. I'm coming now, yeah. I'm coming now, yeah. Ready or not, here I come. I'm coming now. I'm coming now, yeah.
Out of course, game over. Shame try to put a hold on me. Dropping down right in the dirt like Undertaker. This is life work. Testimonies coming from the hurt. It's hard to love when they teach love will get you murdered. Diamonds in the kingdom, better search. Believe that. At one point, didn't know Jack. Every sentence seemed like I cuss. Laying up with a different girl. Some nights seemed like a must. Fentanyl used to be my crush. Want the pain over too much. All I need is one touch. This is more than a gut feeling. Filled up, got the Holy Spirit. I know his voice when he call my name. Yeah, I do hear it. Come on out of that fear spirit. Come on out of that adultery. False gods be stalking me. How we gonna improve if we lying to each other, trying to get on top where the money at? Bigger bank, but your soul we carrying. Holy weapons, we blasting them. Old flag, they ain't landing there. Slim.
I'm coming now. Ready or not, here I come. I'm coming now. I'm coming now, yeah. I'm coming now, yeah. Ready or not, here I come. I'm coming now. I'm coming now, yeah. Coming out the box like no TV, 24/7 Jesus, that be me. Proclaiming Christ all day and night. Join him too and he'll change your life. I gotta serve him, I can't fake it. I ain't got no time to waste it. I'm a soldier on this battlefield. Winning souls is my bill. For Christ saving me, giving me the victory. And he set my soul free when he died on Calvary. Now it's my turn to die to my flesh. Giving my all till there's nothing left. Yeah, I said I'ma die to this flesh. Giving my all to my last breath. Yeah.
I rap for my freedom. I'm coming now. I rap for your freedom. I'm coming now. I'm running on run. I'm coming now. For angels be stunned. I'm coming now. Don't like how I do it. I'm coming now. Keep moving like fluid. I'm coming now. My God, he gon' do it. I'm coming now. My God, he gon' do it. I'm coming now. I rap for my freedom. I'm coming now. I rap for your freedom. I'm coming now. I'm running on run. I'm coming now. For angels be stunned. I'm coming now. Don't like how I do it. I'm coming now. Keep moving like fluid. I'm coming now. My God, he gon' do it. I'm coming now. My God, he gon' do it. I'm coming now.
I'm coming now. Ready or not, here I come. I'm coming now. I'm coming now, yeah. I'm coming now, yeah. Ready or not, here I come. I'm coming now. I'm coming now, yeah.
If somebody tell you he hot, man, you know everybody hot now, Slim. He fish grease.
That's how we feel about this track right here. This is the Fish Grease Pick of the Week, only on Bars, on WinDCRadio.com and the WinDC Radio app, powered by GoWin.media.
Every day is a new day to make a new play. Go and grab a plate and get some new cake. Different places need a new plane. So by the end of the trip, my body got a new ache. But you know, no pain, no gain. You can't increase your stats if you playing the same. I stay in my lane and running like your boy Usain. Take off like your boy your plane, or maybe super sane. Level up when I go for gold. Keep climbing till you see your goals, and then you dunk that hoe. The haters try to watch your growth. Keep tabs just to block your flow. It's crazy how I'm older and I'm rolling like a rover. I used to talk about it, but today I am a shower. Moved out my mama house and then I went over the border. Flew across the water, getting checks and checks just for me to slaughter. I needed to choose.
I gotta go. I gotta know.
Baby, what's a better view?
Hey, this is so true,
It don't matter what you do.
Nah, it never did. I do not care.
With this better view,
What I do?
I'ma do what it do, yeah.
Tall tales of grandeur, small fries, but you compare me, I'm damn sure. Hound spurge, I'm pennywise, but never scary. Purge well, it did not prepare me. Hey, I don't count on social cues to see what kind of man I be. Now I take what I need, don't play into that vanity. But I went back to school, cause these jobs need a damn degree. With obscenities, bills yell, put your hands for my eyes to see, my eyes to be. A prison trip, and this ism, schism. With divisions, rhythms, pre-packaged with a ribbon. Means restrictions in a system, cold and unforgiving. Seeking higher powers, moving dirty, dodging lead showers. Speak up, you say coward, but
this ain't living. In a hole that poison, ring your bell like Bivens. I'm devoted, you should know this. Pure in heart, some confused, it is brand new. Same me, only change is a better view.
Love, hell, or right.
There's no choice, it's clear.
I mean, think about Home Alone, kids in fear.
Where's your heart? You bout to get rocked, you hear?
Life's a battle for supremacy.
Used to be street fighter out for Tekken 3.
Now maneuvering the streets with the weaponry.
Groupie with the beat.
Sound waves got the best of me.
It ain't cheap to eat. I keep the love as the recipe. Yes, indeed.
Needed to choose.
I gotta go. I gotta know.
Baby, what's a better view?
Hey, this is so true, my baby.
No matter what you do.
Nah, it never did. I do not care.
With this better view.
What I do?
I'ma do what it do, yeah.
It is, you got two brothers, you know what I'm saying, who are put in the ghetto that are affected nation, you know what I'm saying?
Son Zulu, Jerry Holmes. Said Baltimore to LA. Czech Republic all across the world with this, man. That real music.
More topics, more segments, more music means more bars after this.
Win DC Radio brings to you the app. Yes, the app is now available on your Google Play and your App Store on your iPhone or your Android. Any of your pads that you might be using, be it if it's an iPad, iPad Mini, or if you have a Samsung Note, it doesn't matter what you have. Any mobile device, you can get the app so you can listen where you're at to Win DC Radio.
The Shops at Iverson is now undergoing a transformation, creating a mixed-use center where the community can come together to eat, shop, relax, and feel connected. The Shops at Iverson is a 600 KSF mixed-use property consisting of retail and office space now available. Located inside the Beltway on Branch Avenue, Maryland, just minutes from downtown D.C. It's an exciting time at the Shops at Iverson. Several beautiful renovation projects are ongoing, transforming the Shops at Iverson into the new safe community hub. DMV, get ready to enjoy the new food court. Opening late spring, early summer, featuring new restaurants like Chipotle, Quickway Hibachi, Tropical Smoothie, Wingstop, and free Wi-Fi. The Shops at Iverson, the original home of the world-famous Snickerdoodle cookies, is completing several cosmetic improvements to the mall interior, facade, and parking garage. The Shops at Iverson is the new home of Go Win Media, comprised of the DMV's premier internet radio stations, Go Radio Live and Win DC Radio. For updates and more details, check out shopiverson.com. That's shopiverson.com.
I don't really need a D, I need the all a bag, need a KC.
Hey, this is China Pink from the 2018 award-winning Best of Radio Talk Show of the Year. Make sure you tune into the Ladies of the China Pink Talk Show each and every Sunday on Win DC Radio from 5 to 7. Make sure you check us out on Facebook Live and YouTube Live to hear our amazing show. We are also available for hosting events or parties. Please contact the China Think Show at AOL.com for booking information. I'll catch you next Sunday at 5.
Foreplay the Orgasm Show. I am your host, Hot Toddy, along with the Turn Up team, Miss Lolly and Showtime. Foreplay the Orgasm Show is each and every Tuesday night from 8 to 10, bringing you the sexy slow jams with very adult interactive conversation, only on Win DC Radio.
Man, look, y'all already know what time it is. It's your boy, Gerard Street Garvey, and my DJ, Kid Cannon. And when we together, you know what it is. Grind Season Radio, each and every Wednesday from 8 to 10 on Win DC Radio. Don't forget it. Yeah.
Looking for a new look? Check out Hair Academy 2 in the Shops at Iverson, Hillcrest Heights, Maryland. You'll get quality services done by developing stylists and barbers. Senior discounts offered weekly and free barbershop services available when you present a flyer. Chemical treatments are also available. Call 301-899-9100 for hours of operation. Hair Academy 2 in the Shops at Iverson, 3705 Branch Avenue, Suite 1010, lower level, Hillcrest Heights. A new look is waiting for you at Hair Academy 2. you.
We hope you didn't go too far. It's time for the second hour of the Balancing Act radio show, hosted by AJ Throwback, only on WinDCRadio.com and the WinDC Radio app, powered by GoWin.media.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. First and foremost, before I say anything, I definitely want to give a shout out to Power in One Clothing. If you can see, this is what I'm rocking today. Shout out to PIO Clothing. Shout out my main man Ryan Lucas and everybody over at Power in One. I got on their "We Don't Need Their Approval" hoodie because any of us that are black, or any of us that are independent artists, or anybody who just kind of sits on the outside, you know what I'm saying, of popularity, so to say. Take a look at the sweatshirt. I mean the hoodie. Boom. That's how I feel about it. That's how many of us feel about it. We don't need their approval. We are enough on our own. I also have on their bracelets as well. I have on one that has Africa on it, and one that has the PIO finger pointing up. So shout out to PIO Clothing. They shouted me out on Instagram, so definitely want to make sure they get shouted out. And if you want to check out more of their clothes, go to PIOclothing.com. That's PIOclothing.com. Black owned. Y'all know I'm about supporting black owned, so shout out to them. Shout out to everybody who is still tuned in via Facebook Live, everybody who's peeked their heads in, excuse me, on Facebook Live. Ryan Lucas, he peeked his head in a little while ago, so once again, shout out my main man DJ, you know what I'm saying, was tuned in a little earlier. My main man Uncle Spencer. If y'all ain't following Uncle Spencer on Instagram, on social media, please do. Uncle Spencer 82. This dude is like, that's the man right there, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just funny to see, like, where he's come from a long way, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to give too much of his story because, you know, I don't want to unearth his identity too much, but shout out my main man, Uncle Spencer. Also, my main man, BJ, tuned in a little earlier. My main man, B. Witty, you know what I'm saying? Tune in, appreciate you. And Tanina, I don't know if you're still watching, but appreciate you tuning in. So yeah, let's get back into this main topic of remakes versus originals. So, before I do that, I want to tell y'all the music we played before the break. So, Fish Grease Pick of the Week was Sun Zulu. Excuse me, y'all. Sun Zulu featuring Jerry Holmes with Better Views, Fish Grease Pick of the Week. Slim VZ featuring Ariel True, which is his wife, by the way, coming out. Wanda with Broken Tones. He also goes by Savion. And starting off the set was Clutch the Rapper with DC Crank. So shout out to all of our artists with some great music. So yeah, let's get back into this main topic of remakes versus originals. So, alright, picking back up, remakes you probably did not know were remakes. Excuse me. So, two by the late great Whitney Houston, aka The Voice, aka Nippy. Because Whitney had to get on this list somehow. So, one song that I didn't realize was a remake was Just the Lonely Talking Again, which I believe was either on her Whitney album or was on the I'm Your Baby Tonight album. I forget which one. Whitney fans out there, let me know, remind me which one it was on. I think it was the Whitney album. But anyway, the Manhattans actually did it first, 1983, if I'm not mistaken. But then Whitney came back either 7 years later or 4 years later, whichever one, and remade it. And usually the thing is, it's Whitney Houston. If Whitney Houston is remaking your song, there's a good chance that she's probably going to remake it better than you. Kind of like Luther Vandross. You can pretty much bet on Luther Vandross remaking your song better than you. But we'll get to that shortly. Not among the ones I'm going to mention, but user comments. But anyway, so I like her version better. And, you know, I heard her version first. And the thing is, don't get me wrong, Gerald Alston, I love Gerald Alston as a singer. great, great singer. But it's Whitney. Enough said. Whitney Houston. Again, the greatest love of all. How many of y'all out there knew that was a remake? Show of hands. Or you can chime in on Facebook Live. How many of y'all out there knew that was a remake? The original artist is an artist I love dearly, George Benson. George Benson has made a lot of great music in his time. Absolutely loved him on Broadway. Absolutely loved him on Moody's Mood. Turn Your Love Around. Inside Love. Some Breezing, of course. I mean, but that's instrumental. He's not singing on that song. But still. But when I heard The Greatest Love of All, after years of hearing Whitney's version, I was like, yeah, I almost wish Whitney would have gotten it first, because I heard his version, I was like, dang, George Benson, like your song, your poor song, it just really doesn't add up at all. And I love me some George Benson, but yeah, Whitney crushed it. And I mean, everybody was singing it at graduations or at school assemblies and all of this and all of that. So we already know. I mean, you would think that as much as we've heard it, it would be a thing where it's like, I'm tired, I'll take anybody's version over Whitney's. But Whitney just killed it. She just absolutely killed it. Put her heart and soul in that song. But getting into a few that might be either borderline or all the way unpopular opinions. So, Do Me Baby. Of course, originally done by Prince. I probably did hear the Prince version first as a child, but then I heard, I don't know whose version I heard first, but yeah, I did hear Prince's version, but then I heard Melissa Morgan's version that she put out 1985, which was, I want to say, maybe 4 years after Prince put out his version. And here's the difference for me, and I love both versions for different reasons. Prince's version is the version when you want to get like nasty, dirty, but it's still like sensual, you know what I mean? Whereas Melissa Morgan's version is all the way sensual. I mean, like, she put that steam on it. Like, Prince put the dirt on it, Melissa Morgan put the steam on it. You know what I mean? Like, that joint is just so sultry the way she sings it. And there's certain things about the music that I like differently for each song. Like, I mean, a part of me likes the music more on Prince's version, but a part of me likes some of the music, some of the elements more on the remake that Paul Lawrence produced. Anybody who doesn't know who Paul Lawrence is, Paul Lawrence produced for Freddie Jackson, Melba Moore, Lilo Thomas, a bunch of people in the 80s. You know what I'm saying? Also, he worked alongside a lot with Kashif. But yeah, something about that version just took it over the top for me. Like, it was just more, Melissa Morgan's a better singer. I mean, granted, it's a man to a woman, but if we compare in skill, I prefer Melissa Morgan as a singer. That's just me. But Prince is an artist, so that's neither here nor there. But anyway, this might be one of the most unpopular. Yes, Calvin. That is a remake. That is, I'm telling you, when I found out it was a remake, my mind was blown. I'm trying to tell you. Let's see. So the next one, which might be an unpopular opinion, especially among people who are huge Donny Hathaway fans. I Love You More Than You'll Ever Know. Absolutely love Donny Hathaway's version. But the thing is, I heard, even though I knew it was a cover, I heard Kenny Lattimore's version first, off of his From the Soul of Man album, 1998. I'm telling you, I'm an almanac. My man Country always say I'm an almanac. I just know these things because I used to play that song on my radio show. That's how my radio show in college. That's how much I love that song. His version gave me goosebumps. Like, whereas Donny Hathaway's version, like, you felt the soul, and Donny Hathaway is just a phenomenal artist. He's a great singer, great songwriter, great producer. He was just ahead of his time. He was just, bar none, one of the best artists, unsung, unheralded, or not sung enough of all time, of any genre. But Kenny Lattimore, man, he put his foot in that song. He put that might be, of all the Kenny Lattimore songs that he's ever done, that might be my favorite song he's ever done. That and If I Lose My Woman, off the same album. Like, he was just in his bag on that album, but he was in his bag on that song. My goodness, he put his foot in that remake. And some people might be like, no way, no way. Look, preference. A lot of times, if a song gives me goosebumps, enough said. That's it. That's all I need. And I'm going down, which some people might agree, some people might not agree. Of course, Rolls Royce did the original. I am partial to the Mary J version. And as much as so many of us love to say that Mary J is not the greatest singer, she isn't. She isn't a great singer. But she does what she needs to do. Like, I always think one of her best vocal performances is Not Gonna Cry. But up there would be her remake of I'm Going Down. I absolutely love how she did that song. It just had a little bit more oomph. I was never a huge fan of like that particular singer of Rolls Royce. I liked her. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying I disliked her, because even Wishing on a Star, you know, like, I've heard remakes of Wishing on a Star that I like better than the original. But I'm Going Down, Mary J just put a little bit more oomph. And then she had the video. It was just like so much like surrounding I'm Going Down that just took it up a notch for me. And some people, you know, especially people who came up listening to the Rolls Royce version, they may not agree. But, I mean, again, taste. It just, Mary J's did a little bit more for me. Her voice did a little bit more for me. And then then it had the nerve to be on My Life, which is one of the greatest R&B albums, not only of the 90s, but of all time, let me tell it. You know what I'm saying? So, agree to disagree. Yeah, see, Tanina, exactly. I do too, exactly. See, we here on that one. Exactly. So let's get to some more of these user comments. So my bro Jalil, he said, "What a fool believes," Aretha Franklin, a whole bop. I Say a Little Prayer, Aretha Franklin, absolutely. You All Need to Get By, Aretha Franklin, yes. I'm Every Woman, Whitney Houston, which a couple of people said, agreed. And Shaka Khan probably hates that to this day, but I'm sorry. Whitney, I like Whitney's better. Even though I had the little kind of, I don't want to call it house, dance, whatever you would call like that kind of spin they put on music in the 90s or whatever. It was kind of like house or whatever. But anyway, Stayed by Erykah Badu. I like Erykah Badu's version too. Erykah Badu tore that down. Man, she sang the heck out of that song. And then he also said, What You Won't Do for Love, by Dionne Warwick. Her version is a good cover. That is a really good cover. But then he later said, and if y'all ain't heard this version, please YouTube it. If the Love Jones soundtrack is on streaming media, go find it. Inside My Love, Minnie Riperton, Trina Broussard's version. Trina Broussard, who didn't really have much of a solo career, but her remake of Inside My Love, my goodness, man, you would think you can't get much better than Minnie Riperton, but she just had a little bit more oomph in her voice. And I love me some Minnie Riperton, but man, she put some stank on that. My man Gucci Mandela, he said Minnie Riperton's cover of Aretha Franklin's Respect, which is actually when she was a member of Rotary Connection, which I didn't hear before he mentioned it, and I listened to it, and I told him, I was like, you know what, it kind of reminds me of what Isaac Hayes did with Walk On By. Rotary Connection made it a little bit more gangster, you know what I mean, like Lincoln with the Suicide Doors kind of feel to it, if you know what I mean. And then he also said Vanilla Fudge's cover of The Supremes, Keep Me Hanging On, and then he later also said Otis Redding's Change Gonna Come. And I like all of those remakes. I don't know if I like Rotary Connection's Respect more, but I like what they did with it. I will say that. My man Zaz, he said although I won't say better, Michelle Indigiocello freaked so many songs on her latest album, Ventriloquist. I liked her interpretations. I'm going to have to check that out. I didn't get a chance to check it out yet. But if Zaz says so, I trust Zaz's taste in music. My man B. Witty said, Cruising, D'Angelo's version, At Your Best, Aaliyah's version, and Sadie, R. Kelly's version. And you know what's funny? I actually like all three of those better than the originals. I like D'Angelo's Cruising better. Loved Aaliyah's At Your Best better. And you know, a smidge more. Now, I won't say leaps and bounds more, but a smidge more to R. Kelly. And even though, you know, I ain't been giving R. Kelly a whole bunch of love. Look, he put his foot in Sadie because he dedicated that to his mom. That was right around the time his mom died. So he was feeling that song. You could tell. That's one of his best vocal performances to me. He sang the mess out of Sadie. This was a funny one. Marcel. I hope she's listening. She's supposed to be tuning in because we're going to shout out one of her events later. But she said Sanashi thought I Like It was an original, her daughter, was an original Cardi B song, then heard the original and thought it was a remake. Okay, I'm off topic, I know. And what's funny, because I replied to her, I said, whole time, that's what I thought the first time I heard Between the Sheets by the Isley Brothers in the beginning of a movie after hearing Foreplay's version with Shaka Khan. I made that mistake when I was around Sanashi's age too. Sanashi's around 14, 15, so, you know, young and naive and don't know no better, you know what I'm saying? So I thought that was funny. My man, Brother Jay, he said Isaac Hayes remake of Dionne Warwick's Walk On By. My man, Rail, now he had the only hip-hop one. He said Big Pun and Fat Joe's remake a deep cover and later commented, even Snoop said it was better. Nuff said, LOL. And you know what's funny? I go back and forth. Because there's certain, I mean, Big Pun's verses, good grief, are enough. But Snoop's voice on the original, it's just like iconic, man. It's iconic. Tanina, among many, Tanina said, she said, all I do is think of you. And what's funny is because I said, how did I forget that one? And she was like, well, I don't know either because you the one that told me about it. That was a remake. And a lot of people don't know that is a remake of the Jacksons. My cousin India, she said, among many, she said Tori Kelly remake of Stevie Wonder's Don't You Worry About a Thing, which is a good remake if you have not heard it. And then finally, my cousin Nikki said Rihanna Umbrella. Love the go-go version. The original is like scraping nails on a chalkboard to me. Which is hilarious. Let me see. I got a couple comments. My man Calvin Williams, he said, just had a song come to mind. Randy Crawford's cover of George Benson's Give Me the Night. I love both versions, but Randy Crawford's version I heard first. That's a good one, Calvin. That's a good one because I think I heard Randy Crawford's version first too, but then I heard George Benson's version, and his version grew on me. And I started liking his version a little bit more, but I love Randy Crawford's version. That's a good one, bro. That's a really good one. I forgot all about Randy Crawford's version. If any of y'all watching don't know this, man, I'm telling y'all, look up these songs. It's a lot of good music we are laying out here for y'all that y'all may know, you may not know. You may have heard the remake, may not have heard the remake, may have heard the original, may not have heard the original. But that's what we do here on Bars, man. We give y'all bars in different ways, you know. So shout out everybody who participated, everybody who commented on the post, and without further ado, man, we gonna go ahead and get into this right here.
All the fire engines in the world can't put out this inferno. It's the Bars 5-alarm blaze countdown. Only on WinDCRadio.com and the WinDC Radio app. Powered by GoWin.media. Number 5.
Yeah. New rules, you know it, yeah. Timing is everything. I can't force it. If you got it straight, but if you don't, you gon' have to wait. Cause timing is everything. You either ready or not. Time's moving, can't steady the clock. Timing is everything. getting over the nervousness. Steady working it, first come first to serving it. Before the casket get the dirt on it. Just want that opportunity to make it permanent. And I'm learning that time don't wait for no man. Get with the program. Still chilling now, you frozen. If you moving when it's moving, everything in motion. But if you still when it's moving, that's evidence you're loafing. Cause you ain't bodies for real. You're too late, you're missing out on the meal. Should've came earlier, took your time and hurried up. I'm at my own pace, so what you worried for? Yesterday is gone. Today's the present, that's the blessing, man, come on. The opportunity may not be obviously. Just put yourself in the position where you gotta be. Cause timing is everything and you don't wanna blow the moment. I've been patiently waiting, now it's time to go on it. I'm focused now, with them dreams I wrote it down. Can't slow it down, by any means hold it down. Hashtag goals accomplished, rose above the nonsense. With no budget and no sponsors, high PowerPoint the conference. Acknowledge that God bless, and diligently keep working the process. Yeah, timing is everything. And I'm reminded that life ain't certain. There's one thing that we know for sure. I'ma grind hard and grind some more. So on your mark and say, if you're ready, let's go. Right now, cause tomorrow I don't know. Knock, knock, opportunity is at the door. So what you waiting for? Timing is everything.
Number 4.
Survive to stay alive, bullets fly past the mother's eyes. The streets is the father to these other guys. Moved to Waldorf, Holly Station, probably facing incarceration, but I was patient. My father was a barber, so my head was straight. My line was made to be great, sublime in his f***ing state. Well connected like Chesapeake Bay, out the trenches every day, working for the pay. Shooting dice ain't for play, we ain't nice when we play. Van Gogh, that van goes swiftly, no car with me. Hustling at the bus stop, get shifty. We all out of mind, built in minds through sight. So in the meantime, I blend in with the cities. Blow smoke when times it was a young Don B trying to make $1 out of f***ing 50. For that $1.9, grab that Glock 9, rob it at the stop sign, do him dirty like 6'9", Takashi with the heat out, wasabi green running, throw the keys out, the Dinya be gunning for that fresh gear. Now we're next year, cause only God's look the best here. Through the Dinya we move swiftly, falling like we 6 feet, we only 6 deep, carrying 60. So I skate through and through canals, cause my style make them move for miles, between crowds, in and out like crab shacks, brown bags and stacks, cops like where the stash at. Move with the K quickness, dipped in hot butter, the feds can't tell what the fish is, so we resume business, unless a hoe need to know it's down low. Lord Lube, right Nubian flow, luminous glow. I don't set the bar low unless it's limbo. Born and raised with the go-go, so I can go gadget. My habit is the DMV. You gonna need New Balance to murder me, Lord Lube.
Look, stepping up in my phone pauses, but never went to college. Yeah, that hunger, that BS, you probably with your baby mama. She a scholar, stay bopping her head in silence, stay bopping her through the hours. A buoy bobber, be popping that ass at the CFE on the weekends. TCB through the speakers, but if you step on my J's, then we reckon to square up. We running them up when they shooting them up. When all of this luck, we should've took our ass to love and found some DTS. Fucking we mobbing the streets, deep in the roots growing out of our feet. Deep fried chicken wings with mumbo sauce on the side. Side of fries with in Arizona, it was mortified. Then we cancel water, get a cup of water with some juice inside. Hop up in the ride, and we cruise to some Tenley Town heroes. Bigger hoes than ground zero. Hit some hookah with some shots, all I'm looking for is a pillow. Product of my environment, we tough talking and arrogant. To correlate the rumors, they mixing up like experiment. The boulevards are safe haven, we stay hanging, no Gang banging, but hit on women with name ranging from Ashley to hey baby, you jack you. I went smack, but she joined on me. I ain't with that. I was caught local with the high waters, and my homies let me at the ground, so I had to kirk on them. While people sites that I ghosted, like I'm always in the cut posted. With a cigarello, had to cheap quick and made my way to West Bubble. Cause no one wants to live in ward off. The fall offs are opposite of Carlos. It's all about the butter, how I dipped on everybody acting bitter. Like a taste of overcooked crab, just take it back. Or I'm giving it back to the ocean right from the shitter. I'm shedding on anybody that triggers my Twitter fingers. I'll say it right in their face. I'm up to helping people win and show talent, but not a lot of people have the balance. They'll rather bow out a challenge instead of staying true to themselves. I keep it real cause it's a force of habit. John B.
A way of living that had is secluded, though the quiet surroundings and the subtle views that nourish my amusement. Being a youngin' on the countryside, so I sided with neutrality. Cause I follow city life as well as being stationed with nature that spoke to me while I'm viewing the chosen tree in the swamp. It's divinity, electricity flowing through Maryland as it pushes the light up on the district. When you shoot it, hitting, nobody's looking for a stomach because every line of festivity captivated every spirit. Now come on and go on the strip with me to the area where I was formed and set on this trail that I follow through the land. Madam, everywhere we stand, through the hookah clouds we were greeted with open arms and hands. Then I brought that obey onto my order of continent. Crab legs after that was cracking as we cranked the live band. Speakers in critical condition. Listen to the rare essence in the backyard, my friend. They would be out of the town as we head to the lounge. I was setting my vibe again. Riding through PG County in a minute, we'll wind the bend. Opposite Mall, sticking doodle in the bag as we headed out the doors to finish tonight's mission. And night's vision with night vision is depicting a party. So let's get it started with several bottles of Rosé Moscato. We can spark this. Even that will change the dynamics of this evening. This panoramic view of the shenanigans easily. Put the final stamp on this entire day. Now I'm back on 301 after we got it cranking through the night, I say. After I wind down, I just reflect on everything that happened. I'm a night owl, so I'm still wide awake. And now it's time to take the time out to show my thanks for all of this. Since all the formations all around us gave us all a grin. And every time I recall the stories that I have lived so far, I see them all as blessings. I'm completely restless when I think about my DMV stories, you dig? Let's go.
People really don't know a thing about Murderland. TMG coming through, I had to spread the word again. Country boy, corn-fed, running like a thoroughbred. Black and yellow mixed with a little red. Car parties and cookouts, that's all I know. Older people in the back playing dominoes. Younger cats out front, they playing b-ball. Trying to figure out how to get the weed off. Then we over at Hard Times, yeah, the party lit. While my nigga DJ Hyper go and hit his finish. King Quick in the back, battle rapping and killing shit. Just the way it go down in the DMV, you feeling it? I'm feeling it. I wake up, can't remember shit. Off to the kitchen, eggs are bacon with the side of grits. I love being a country boy, man, you can't get tired of this. I'm from the land of the track, the pools, track race on Sundays. The land there to show you how to be a man one day. The same place where my son was raised. The same place DMV where we bump Marvin Gaye and Chuck Brown all day. This is DMV, come back. MD is where I'm at. It's TMG, I'm on the map. You know, this is my DMV story, you heard? It's your man TMG. Appreciate y'all for going on that journey with me. Oh, and one more thing. Rest in peace to my grandfather, Robert Theodore Carter I. I just wanted to let y'all know. Thank you. Skittle.
Number 3.
I was gonna write you, I was gonna tell you that there ain't nobody like you. I was gonna play it off, keep acting I don't like you. With something deep inside, said you need me, so I'm right here. Yeah, a different lane from the lanes. Took a minute to explain that I'm more than just the same. I just want the time, nothing else. Or maybe sip some wine if it helps. Or maybe take a ride, won't you hold on? I can only hold my feelings back for only so long. Lending you an ear if you need me. Or find a special spot you can meet me. You want it, you got it, girl, say so. The choices are yours, please don't say no. You're feeling my vibe, body say go. No line for no hookup, it's all about
you. Baby, it's you. Now that I know that's exactly what you were sent to this earth for, I stand on my own too. I'm done with that. You're retired off force. I'm thinking you had to be made for me because we blend with no force. Exceeded my status, you everything I wanted and a little more. Baby, it's you. Baby, it's you.
Number 2.
Ain't nobody from outside bringing down the property value. It's these folks shooting each other and selling that crack rock.
Well, how you think the crack rock gets into the country? We don't own any planes. We don't own no ships. But we are not the people who are flying and floating that in here. Why is it there's a liquor store on almost every corner in the black community?
Why?
Why? They want us to kill ourselves.
Back to sell the dope, back to sell the coke. We back on the block in the cold. Back to rob, niggas back to killing, niggas back to mob, niggas back to hit, niggas back to sell it, back to catch an A, back to babies on the block, catch a straight, back to niggas in the trap, catch a plays. Are you judge? They just try and make a way. Back to handcuffs, we back in the system. Never black man and never black victim. Never good mother turn crack victim. Never local rapper turn rap victim. Never household without a father. Never mother can't let go the bottle. Never daughter teacher, daughter pop. She don't go, she can't even stop. Never uncle teacher, nephew cook it up. We don't give a how they look at us. Kick him out of school, we gon' get a two. When he see it out, we gon' lift it up. Never junkie writing on the yawn. Never young nigga with a gun. He was looking up to the drug, didn't see it out. We gon' have some fun. Nigga, look what you did to my people. Look what you did. Look what you did to my people. Look what you did. You remember young evil. Look what you did to my people. Look what you did to my people. Look what you did. Look what you did to my people. Look what you did. Look what you did to my people. Look what you did. You remember young evil. Look what you did to my people. Look what you did to my people. Look what you did. Look what you did. Another girl wanna be a bad. She a queen, but she thinks she average. She about to do whatever for the bag. Give it son up, yeah, that's some sad shit. Never go with a real. Go to court with them, you gon' squeal. You don't ride with them, you don't kill with them. Better hold your people to go deal with. Who started the project? They started the project. It always a project. Somewhere we could die at. Somewhere we could slide at. They cannot deny that. Minimum wage all out in the hood. We cannot survive that. Who put the drugs in the hood? Who put the guns in the hood? They put that shit in the hood. Them people, they know what they doing. They want us to keep it going. Generation out of generation. They don't want to say a nigga make it. If you make it, they try to take it. Who started the mob? Oh, he went to college trying to do right. He ain't got no job. White man in charge. And he got a daughter, she needs some pampers. He ain't try to rob, he ain't try to slam. He just want a job, but after the interview, nobody answered.
But what if poverty isn't natural? What if it's something that's created, and created by very specific public policies that are very often largely guided by very wealthy people?
Back to sell the dope, back to sell the coke. We back on the block and back to rob, niggas back to kill it, niggas back to mob, niggas back to hit, niggas back to sell it, back to catch an A, back to babies on the block, catch a straight, back to
niggas in the trap catching plays. Are you judge? They just try and make 'em. White man in charge.
Number 1.
When a boss wants you, hey. She be like, side, yeah, she down for that ride. Give her damn who riding with us. And I ain't got a thing to hide, yeah. Our time is our time when I'm in it. She know what it is. Ride around the whip, hey. Me and my new chick. When I'm with her, I forget that other bill. Hey, with it, yeah. Real deal with it. Oh Lord, oh Lord, oh Lord.
New whip, guess I'm on some new shit. No, she ain't my girlfriend, just a chick I'm cool with. Only let a few hit, let her blow a few chips. Took her on a few trips, kissed her on her 2 lips. Was amazing, had cheerful wit. Wish I would've knew this, she gon' make me lose it. Something more than a one night stand, less than lovers, more than friends. Some people won't understand. I know she got a man, she know that I got a wife. She play her position right, she keeping her lips tight. We linking up late nights, cause I how she like. Roll up and take flights, zip if she like.
She be like, side, yeah, she down for that ride. Give her damn who riding with us. And I ain't got a thing to hide, yeah. Our time is our time when I'm in it. She know what it is. Ride around the whip, hey. Me and my new chick. When I'm with her, I forget that other bill. Hey, with it, yeah. Real deal with it. Oh Lord, oh Lord, oh Lord.
Sitting in my living room, scrolling through my decks, thinking that I need some whip. Am I gon' f on next? Kiki got the deeper pockets, Keisha got the better sex. I just f them both together. That'll make a wet. Phone line jumping. I just got another text. Looking at it, who is this? OMG, that's just my ex. She just wanna fuss and fight her new don't f right. Hit her with that double back. I might let her spend the night. And I got a white girl, young as hell, but thick as she thinks she be running shit. She gon' make me f up. I might f your baby mom. She be with the freaky shit. Hell, I just wanna watch her. Another
she be like, side, yeah, she down for that ride. Give her damn who riding with us. And I ain't got a thing to hide, yeah. Our time is our time when I'm in it. She know what it is. Ride around the whip, hey. Me and my new chick. When I'm with her, I forget that other bill. Hey, with it, yeah. Real deal with it. Oh Lord, oh Lord, oh Lord.
Welcome back to the Balancing Act Radio Show, hosted by AJ Throwback, only on WinDCRadio.com and the WinDC Radio app, powered by GoWin.media.
Yeah, let's go back from 5 to 1. So that was February's 5 Alarm Blaze Countdown. You just heard, well, I said 5 to 1. I'm not even paying attention to what I'm saying. So number 5, we had New Jerus with Timing Is Everything. Yes, our producer of the week also is a rapper, which I said on the outset if you were listening. But he also made the countdown. So he came in at number 5 with Timing Is Everything off of his album Timing Is Everything. At number 4, growing to be one of the most popular songs on our show right about now, Lord Lou, Don B the Artist, K Quick, and Mr. TMG with DMV Stories. At number 3, Row B featuring John Mel, Mr. City with Baby It's You. Number 2, Blackout with The Trap, Wake Up. And at number 1, what you just heard was YB the Great featuring BZ Archibald with She Know. So congratulations to YB the Great and BZ Archibald for making it back-to-back months as Arsonists of the Month. And shout out to those who didn't quite make the countdown but qualified. As mentioned earlier, King Mars. We played his song Die King earlier. Shout out my man King Mars. Tone Butter, Ryan Lucas, Artemis, Miss Moore, and Real. Let's see, who else qualified? Zark and Bards. My main man Doc Brass. Shout out my man Doc Brass. And I always do this. It never fails. I always forget who the 10th person is. Give me 1 second, because I want to make sure I shout out everybody who qualified. Of course, ADST Music and Zola with Lessons. Didn't quite make it. They almost made it, but you know, there's a lot of competition, and I just implore everybody, if you want to make this countdown, rally your folks. That's a surefire way to get on this countdown. So salute everybody who even qualified. Salute to all the independent artists out there. Appreciate y'all fueling this show, what we do every single week. But let me see. I'm trying to set up my music real quick. Not that. That's not what I want. That's not what I want. So let me do this. Yeah, I gotta excuse me. I'm a little off my game, just a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But not too far off my game. But anyway, want to pick up with some Black History. Since we wrapping up Black History, want to do this day. I don't want to do this week in Black History because it's just because we missed last week. That's a lot of time to cover. So I'm just gonna cover this day. There's a lot good that happened on this day. So today being February 27th, 1833. Maria W. Stewart delivered one of the 4 speeches which confirmed her place in history as the first American-born woman to give public lectures. Stewart's lectures focused on encouraging African Americans to attain education, political rights, and public recognition for their achievements. Her speech on this day, delivered at the African Masonic Hall in Boston, Massachusetts, was titled "On African Rights and Liberty." Excuse me. After some controversial statements made about black men and how they, quote, lacked ambition and requisite courage, Stewart eventually retired from public speaking and went on to be a school teacher as well as head matron of Freedmen's Hospital, which is now known as Howard University Hospital. So that's in 1833. 2 things in 1869. Congress adopted the 15th Amendment, making it illegal for the U.S. or any single government to deny or abridge the right to vote on account of race, color, or previous condition of servitude. And also in 1869, John W. Menard spoke in Congress in defense of his claim to a contested seat in Louisiana's 2nd Congressional District. Congress decided against both claimants. Congressman James A. Garfield of the Examining Committee said, quote, "It was too early to admit a Negro to the U.S. Congress." Menard was the first black to make a speech in Congress. Excuse me. And in 1872, Charlotte E. Ray graduated from Howard University School of Law and became the first African-American woman to practice law in the United States. She is also noted as becoming the first woman to practice law before the Supreme Court of the District of Columbia. Notably, she also opened her own law firm, later became a teacher after her firm ran into difficulty because of prejudice against African Americans and women at the time, and was an integral part of the women's suffrage movement as a member of the National Association of Colored Women. So that is this day in Black History. More Black History made recently, or Black excellence. We can say some of it's history, some of it's just excellence. So at the Oscars, this is something I want to highlight because I didn't want to get too much into Oscars because frankly the Oscars bore me, and you know, it was par for the course this past Sunday. But I wanted to shout out all the Black excellence that happened at the Oscars. So Regina King, she won the Oscar for Best Actress in a Supporting Role for If Beale Street Could Talk, which was actually her first nomination. It's hard to believe. This woman has been around so long. I mean, most of us remember her as Brenda from 227, but she's been around at least 35, 40 years acting. And this is her first nomination, Oscar nomination, and win. But I digress. I also love the fact that it was the first award that was given out at the ceremony and to a black person. So you gotta love that. And she closed the speech with "God is good all the time." Definitely gotta love that. Ruth Carter became the first black woman to win an Oscar for Best Costume Design for her work on Black Panther after previously being nominated for her work on Malcolm X and Amistad. In the midst of thanking Spike Lee for a star, she said, "Marvel may have created the first black superhero, but through costume design, we turned him into an African king." And then later said, "Thank you for honoring African royalty and the empowered way women can look and lead on screen," which is one of the greatest things that I loved about Black Panther, is that black women were in positions of power in that movie. And this was a woman who was responsible for designing the costumes for these women, having them just look regal, absolutely powerful. So shout out to Ruth Carter. More black excellence, more black history. Hannah Beachler was the first African American to be nominated and win an Oscar for Best Production Design for her work on Black Panther. Excuse me. Along with Jay Hart as set decorator, who also won his first Oscar as well, although he's white. But, you know, gotta shout him out because he worked with her. During her speech, she said, "I stand here stronger than I was yesterday. I stand here with agency and self-worth because of Ryan Coogler, who not only made me a better designer, a better storyteller, a better person. I stand here because of this man who offered me a different perspective of life, who offered me a safe space, who's patient, and gave me air, humanity, and brotherhood. Thank you, Ryan, and I love you." And then she later said, "I give the strength to all of those who come next to keep going, to never give up, and when you think it's impossible, just remember to say this piece of advice I got from a very wise woman. I did my best, and my best is good enough." And what's funny about that is that she had this lengthy speech, and they was giving her to wrap it up music, and Jay Hart tried to, like, all he could get out in the midst of that was, "I just want to thank my crew." He had to shout it out over the music, and that's all he got. You know what I'm saying? It's just hilarious. But anyway, so Mahershala Ali goes 2 for 2 in nominations at the Oscars, winning Best Actor in a Supporting Role for Green Book, his second win after winning previously for Best Actor in a Supporting Role in Moonlight. Although I'm not gonna lie, I haven't seen Green Book yet, and there was a lot of controversy around the movie, but especially because it won Best Film. But I was confused because it was like you would think that his character, Dr. Shirley, was the main character in the film. So for him to be Best Actor in a Supporting Role, I'm like, but hold on, like Dr. Shirley is like, he's kind of the draw. But I could go on and on about how one of the guys who was, I guess, one of the directors or producers or whatever on Green Book, he was just like pretty much like, excuse my French, but jacking Viggo Mortensen off during his thank you speech. But I digress. But the moment of the night for me was Spike Lee winning an Oscar for Best Adapted Screenplay for Black Klansman as he jumped into the arms of Samuel L. Jackson after winning his first ever Oscar. This man has been making movies since, I want to say, 1986, when he first, or like in the public consciousness, when he first made She's Gotta Have It, 1986. And we're talking 2019, 33 years later, and he's just winning his first Oscar in 5 total nominations. 2 of the best parts of his speech were when he noted he won an Oscar during Black History Month and 400 years after the first Africans were brought to Jamestown, Virginia in 1619. And 2, when he paid homage to his grandmother, who saved years of Social Security checks to put him being her firstborn grandchild through Morehouse College and NYU for film school. And then toward the end of his speech, he said in regards to 2020 presidential election, "Let's all mobilize. Let's all be on the right side of history. Make the moral choice between love versus hate. Let's do the right thing." You know, I had to get that in there right. When he said that, he did his little dance afterward, because it's like, you knew he was going to say that. All this time of waiting to get an Oscar. I mean, that's his tagline, you know what I'm saying, of many. So, man, I was so happy for Spike. Spike Lee is like my favorite director of all time, movie director of all time. Like, I love his films. And you could just tell how respected he was among the Academy, because everybody was just standing up, cheering, just like in awe. You seen people's faces, and it was just like, wow, Spike finally won. He finally got his moment. So shout out to all of the winners of during the Academy Awards. Going through some of these birthday shout outs, of course we got to start out with a Black History birthday. Today in 1897, famous contralto Marian Anderson, one of the most heralded singers of the 20th century, was born. Spending most of her singing career performing in concert and recital in major music venues with famous orchestras throughout the United States and Europe between 1925 and 1965. When the Daughters of the American Revolution refused to allow Anderson to sing at Constitution Hall here in D.C., well, in D.C. She gave a critically acclaimed performance on the steps of the Lincoln Memorial with the assistance of the Roosevelts in 1939, and would later break more racial barriers as the first black person to perform at New York City's Metropolitan Opera in 1955. She was also a delegate to the United Nations Human Rights Committee and a Goodwill Ambassadress to the U.S. State Department, participated in the Civil Rights Movement in the 1960s, sang at the March on Washington for Jobs and Freedom in 1963, and received countless awards including the Presidential Medal of Freedom in 1963, the Congressional Gold Medal in 1977, the Kennedy Center Honors in 1978, the National Medal of Arts in 1986, and a Grammy Lifetime Achievement Award in 1991. So salute Marian Anderson, one of the greatest singers of all time. We're right in the middle of Pisces season because we didn't get last week's show. Shout out all of the Pisces, excuse me. Man, I'm going through it today, as y'all can hear. My main man, MC Brooks, celebrated her birthday on February 20th. Erica Ashley Lanier, she celebrated her birthday on February 24th. Miss Lally of Foreplay the Orgasm Show. Shout out to Foreplay the Orgasm Show. They had a show last night celebrating both Lolly and Toddy's birthdays. They got back-to-back birthdays, the 25th and the 26th. So shout out to both of them. And also on February 25th, my man John, my main man Fletch, and yesterday the 26th, my main man Low Views. Shout out my main man Rob Rise on Belief. He's celebrating a birthday today. So happy birthday to you, my brother, fellow brother of sound. Miss Jill of Honey Bars Media, one of the shows we used to have right here on WinDCRadio.com. But shout out to her. She actually celebrates her birthday. She's one of the few leap year babies that I know. But she celebrates her birthday on the 28th, but her birthday is actually February 29th. Courtney celebrating birthday March 1st. My cousin EJ celebrating birthday March 2nd. My cousin Nanette, my man Derek Roberts celebrating birthdays on March 3rd. My homegirl Gigi celebrating a birthday March 4th. And Miss Sandy, Gadget, and Sonia celebrating birthdays on March 5th. So shout out to all of the Pisces out there. Let's go ahead and get into this right here.
Let's see what's happening on the Bars community calendar.
So I want to make sure I mention this before I forget. Shout out to Marcel Folk of excuse me, Wine Key Experience. She wanted me to let everybody know that she is serving food and drinks tonight at an event, and she's been given permission to invite people. So the first 3 people who post and tag Wine Key Experience and at Bars on Air Rocks on IG, the first 3 people will be able to come to this event, will be able to be invited to this event. And the food and drinks are free, courtesy of Buccaria Tapas Bar and Wine Key Experience. So please make sure y'all tag her on IG. Again, that is, and tonight the event is from 7 to 8 p.m. So you definitely, let me tell y'all, Marcel makes mean drinks. Her crew makes mean drinks. So if you looking for something to do tonight on Hump Day, make sure y'all go check her out. Again, the first 3 people to post and tag Wine Key Experience and Bars on Air Rocks, y'all will be at that event on the house. So make sure y'all tag on, and if anything, the last post that I put up on at Bars on Air, you can comment on that particular post and put at Wine Key Experience and at Bars on Air Rocks. So first 3 people, make sure y'all jump on that. All right, so our other events we got going on, tomorrow is the deadline. A seat at the table, and the F.D. Iverson Law Firm, PLLC, are doing their PSA music contest, calling all artists that have the talent and the skill to express the dangers of K2, synthetic marijuana, and PCP in a hot song. Today's society, popular culture is at the forefront of influence and intrigue, and as music has always had a way of uniting and inspiring, we want to use that medium to do just that, inspire and unite. Are you an artist interested in making a difference? Want to earn a little exposure and cash in the process? Send your MP3 file of original work to Savon7, that's SAVAUN 7, the word 7, at gmail.com by tomorrow at 11:59 p.m. Please refrain from using profanity and sexual content in your submissions. Grand prize is $500, and the winner also gets an appearance right here on Bars on Air. You get an automatic interview, and you get to host with the Wong host of A Seat at the Table podcast on season 2, episode 1 of A Seat at the Table. So definitely want to jump on that ASAP. Deadline is tomorrow at 11:59 p.m. On Friday, Anacostia Art Center will be holding Poetic Vibes DC. Doors open at 7 p.m., starts at 8 p.m. at the Anacostia Art Center Chase Black Box Theater. Excuse me. 1231 Good Hope Road, Southeast. Details. Delicious meals will be vended by Renee. Live house band which will accompany performers. Featured artist is Alicia Ross. Cost is $10 in advance, and if you want to do the Poetry Passport, it's $50. It's a season pass for you and a +1 to every Poetic Vibes event in 2019. For more info, visit eventbrite.com and search Poetic Vibes DC. On Us Tees, they'll be doing Creative Culture Volume 2. Black women, all black women creatives, also on Friday from 7 to midnight at Prince George's African American Museum and Cultural Center, 4519 Rhode Island Avenue, North Brentwood, Maryland. Live performances by Boomscat, music by DJ Cleveland Brown, also performances by Angel Brene, Q Lachey, creative gifts by Made with Love Catering, My Desserts Diva, and Rocks and Glitter, hosted by the Patrick Sisters. Cost is $35. For more info, visit either eventbrite.com and search Creative Culture, or visit creativeculture.live. And finally, That's a Plug Media. They will be holding their 1-year anniversary expo on Saturday, March 9th from 5 to 9 p.m. at Mount Rainier Artist Lofts, 3311 Rhode Island Avenue in Mount Rainier, Maryland. Join That's a Plug Media in celebrating past interviewees as well as some new. Plugged in photo shoot, live interviews, live performances, networking with local brands and businesses, drinks, food, and more. Also, grab the newest That's a Plug merchandise. Cost is free for general admission, plus swag bag, or $5 for first class plus swag bag. And your man, AJ Throwback, will be DJing that event, so please make sure y'all come out to that event. For more info, visit eventbrite.com and search That's a Plug. I think I've given a lot of good quotes already today, so we're going to go ahead and skip over Bars for Life for today because I've dropped quite a few. But definitely want to make sure I shout out once again New Jerusalem for providing the instrumentals for today as our producer of the week. Shout out everybody who's been listening and tuned in today. Team Bars, y'all came through. I needed y'all. Y'all don't even know how much I needed y'all today. It was a struggle. Y'all hear my voice struggling today. It's a lot of talking for somebody who still is kind of under the weather, but I wasn't going to miss the day after missing last week. The show must go on. Last couple of comments I see on Tanita Aisha on Poetic Justice. That's right. Exactly. Regina King was Aisha on Poetic Justice. The girl at the barbecue on Boys in the Hood. She's been in so much. And she said Spike Lee rolled his eyes at me before not writing the whole story. But he did, and it's okay. I still really? Oh yeah, we got to talk about that, Tanita. Look, Spike had something for that girl Aquafina, that comedian Aquafina, because she had this awkward moment when she was like, she seen Spike, and Spike just kind of looked at her like, the hell? You know what I'm saying? Like, it was crazy how he looked at her. But yeah, and I agree with you, Calvin. Spike was long overdue. And yes, salute Marian Anderson. And also, shout out, another birthday shout out, Mr. Rowland, Tanina's father, coolest dude on the planet. You know what I'm saying? Cool to do. Always had the fresh sneaks. Just so cool, so laid back. You know what I'm saying? Dope brother. His heavenly birthday, may he rest in paradise. So salute Mr. Roland. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so this is just I'm just thankful to everybody who participated, everybody who's watching, who's listening today. Make sure y'all keep tuning in today for DMV Culture Club from 6 to 8 p.m. and Grind Season Radio from 8 to 10 p.m. right here on WinDCRadio.com, the WinDC Radio app. Many of these shows will be on the WinDC Radio Facebook page and YouTube page live. So make sure y'all stay tuned to what we got today. And just shout out to everybody. Shout out to all the artists. Shout out to everybody who tuned in. I love and appreciate every last one of y'all. And next week, we will have definitely in studio my main man D-Bell. We had to reschedule his interview from last week. He will be in next week. And we may also have another special guest calling by phone, but we'll work that out. Y'all see the promos soon enough. And of course, make sure y'all just tune in every single week for the official Hump Day Motivation for the DMV and beyond. We're going to go ahead and close out this show. This is my main man, Noir, with Cloud Dreams. And we'll see y'all next week. Enjoy the rest of your week. And be blessed, be powerful, and stay black. All right, y'all. Peace.
There were days when I would feel like nothing. All my problems made me feel like running. I've been running. I would crave the cloud dreams up in heaven. Couldn't fade the dark dreams under heaven. Was it a godsend? Hey, lately I've been rocking by the city, making time to stop by, though I'm busy. It ain't silly to me. Ooh, made me vibe, glorified sun shines on the dark side. I know. I've been so high, falling to the sky on a cloud dream, making my dreams come true. To the Most High, thank you for everything, 'cause I'm still alive, living a life you won't believe. In a way, I've always felt like something. Just a shame it took me years to listen. But now I listen. If it pays to take time, I'll be patient. Steady racing my mind on a mission. I start to finish. Burn my pride, selfish mind can't hurt if you give it a try. Close my eyes, dream of lullaby skies, sinking deeper, slipping away from reality. I've been so high, falling to the sky on a cloud dream, making my dreams come true. To the Most High, thank you for everything, 'cause I'm still alive, living a life you won't believe. No. As I burn my pride, lose my mind, lost my mind, wasting time, I realize the world is mine. Then I earn my stripes, strives, taking strides, making strides, lost in rhymes. I come to find the world is mine. See, I learn with time, read the signs, catch the signs, things align, you'll realize you are the prize. And I own my crimes, making it right by the Most High, the Almighty God. He gave me life.
Bars.
And that's it.
I did it. Mommy did it?
Yes.